Hello! Good to have you join us in another extra informative segment of the program. I am Abigail Ojogbo. Did you know that the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, increased production from a constrained 15,000 barrels per day to 240,000 barrels per day? Did you know that the financing of the NNPC and Chevron Nigeria Limited joint venture, Project Cheetah, which was oversubscribed, won an international award for innovative financing arrangements in 2016? Did you also know that gas production has increased to over 8.3 billion standard cubic feet per day, far above the average of 7.155 billion standard cubic feet per day production recorded prior to this administration? Did you know that NNPC currently supplies an average of 720 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, representing about 47% of total gas supply to the domestic gas markets? Now you know. Please don't go away, the rest of the program continues.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices stabilized Friday, bouncing back from an early sell-off after Asian and European stock markets plunged in the wake of Wall Street's biggest daily decline since 2011. Brent crude oil fell 82 cents or 1.1% to a low of $75.35 per barrel before rallying to around $76.37, up 20 cents. The global benchmark has lost more than $10 per barrel since hitting a high of $86.74 on October 3. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude was up 20 cents at $67.02 after touching an intraday low of $65.99. Analysts said factors outside the oil market were now leading sentiment, stressing that fear and anxiety about the global economy are currently playing a bigger role in the oil price than the actual fundamentals of supply and demand. Financial markets have been hit hard by a range of worries, including the US-China trade war, a rout in emerging market currencies, rising borrowing costs and bond yields, as well as economic concerns in Italy. Weakness is also starting to show in container and dry bulk rates, both of which have declined significantly in October, pointing to a slowdown in global trade. Many investors are concerned about rising oil inventories as supply exceeds demand in some key markets, including the United States. U.S. crude oil production has risen steadily over the past decade and hit a record high of 11.2 million barrels per day this month. U.S. commercial crude stocks rose for a fifth consecutive week last week, increasing 6.3 million barrels to 422.79 million barrels, the Energy Information Administration said. And that's about the size of Crude Oil Outlook on this edition of the program. My name is Solomon Eopave.
This program has started off since 2000. In most government establishments, when they start a program, they fail along the line. But NNPC has been able to sustain this program, and I think we should commend them.
That's been stories, issues, and events on Oil and Gas Forum for this edition. NNPC wishes you a jolly good week ahead. Bye now.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem promptly through revival of agriculture.
the 30K is going a long way. Actually, I bought an acre of land for 60K like 2012, and presently I have a cassava farm and a yam farm.
This is the network service of the NTA.
I bet no mention that thing. Make you no even try mention at all.
You know me.
Because if I mention the thing where that thing resemble, I don't even mention it because others stay here with the chop. Make I not mention it.
You mean it correct?
Oh yes. The mere look of it together as they do me one kind. I'm telling you.
Emma, wait. It's your monje. It's your bumper. You don't know food job or bumper.
The thing she talk.
Oh, bumper.
They do with it.
You don't want no good food.
Eh. Who don't know for this country say now we they cook pass for this country. I mean, you want make I begin the mention for you?
Yeah, now.
It's alright. What is the name of this particular soup now? Afang! Yes! And then they can come. Those ones are just soup, so then we have a epangoto, ate fere, abakatama, uwabia, breakfast, and some other. Waiting with that now.
Wait. Now food, you just is where you just dey come.
I mean, like incantation, you just
See these people. Not food now, better food.
No. You know what? I can testify to a dikaikom as a really fantastic soup.
Uncle Chet, Samsongo, thank you very much. You see, una the land now.
See what?
You just confirm say epic food now be the best. Now we get the best food for this country.
Friend, make me hear what?
Oh.
You never chop Igbo food. Make I
Shut up.
make I tell you something. See Igbo food, now the best, not for Nigeria, for this whole world.
Come on. Look. Everybody will think that their own food is the best, you know.
Tell them on project like Eba Yibo. Eba Yibo.
What do you do Eba Yibo?
Only Titi had like stone okuta. Say that okute your people they call her. He had like it could just be like say that okute.
Woman is abeg. No mention that abeg. At least it's still better person than that una Yoruba amala. Yes. Amala will be like water. I even they try the white one, but that black one, I don't like amala. I don't like.
You dey miss.
Oh yes, let me miss.
You dey miss. Just of when try the black one. That is amala issue.
That black amala na here no fit chop. I no fit like them.
Oh, they come mayor.
Make I talk to you. See that amala?
They go.
You
You see that in color? That in color now I know like. Oh yes, I'm telling you.
dey miss.
Why you want follow our table wey you never chop? Where you get about?
Look. None of you has really heard of heard of a funny delicacy. Yes, there's an Eastern tribe with a rather curious one.
Eastern tribe? Yes. You mean I'm Igbo?
Oh, no. Asian tribe, Southeastern Asia. Now, you wouldn't know what the delicacy is, would you?
No, tell us.
Look, they tie down a monkey in an upright position. Like that. Now, the monkey is chained down while the monkey is there. Now, they take a saw, a sharp saw, and chop off the top of the monkey's head.
Hey!
Now, the monkey is chained down, crying, its eyes popping out.
Hey!
Then someone takes a spoon.
When I wake up in the morning, I need something to help me start my
Did you know that 90% of brain growth occurs in the first 5 years of a child's life? DHA is an essential nutrient that supports brain growth and its key functions. Peak 456 grain of milk is specially formulated with DHA for children 4 to 6 years old to help them grow up strong and smart.
Peak 456, yeah. My own milk, peak 456, yeah.
Scoops the brain of the monkey and in his mouth.
Jesus! Wait, when is he alive?
Yes, when the monkey is still alive.
Hey, those people will be animals.
In fact, animals better pass them. What is that?
Oh well, Yamadina, can I please have lunch? I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
Now the monkey blame food you want to?
Oh no, come on, of course not.
See, we talk about monkey blame food. I'm going to say you want to. It could be a coincidence.
It's coincidental.
In fact, I want to drink. Yes.
Oh really?
Let me drink. Yamadinos, please tell somebody to come and clear these tables.
Thank you.
Yamadinos,
This is quick. When did they do for yourself? Please give me.
It's alright, I'll pay you. God, I'm tired of you people in this restaurant. Take it.
Thank you.
It's alright. It's complete. Go.
Embarrassing yourself.
Yamodina, please, can I have my lunch?
Christy will serve it today.
Christy? Are you sure that Christy can prepare my lunch?
Don't teach her.
Oh.
Teacher is not me.
Hey!
You know what to do.
This guy won't find Yamodino's trouble. You will see.
Christy! Jerry, remember as I take picture of guy to eat food, not to make you food. Yes. Go with the house and do what you want to eat. Okay.
I'm telling you.
Oga, madam, I don't serve you. Why do they look around? Now you are the top.
Me?
Yes, you.
Wait till I take vex you now.
You know vex me. I don't know this stuff.
Oh, you go step aside. What you know why you know? Money go to you look up now. You know why you know?
Now wow.
You know why you know?
Aha, Christy.
Yes.
Yamodina said you know how to prepare my food.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. No sauce.
Yes.
The locust beans instead of seasoning.
Yes.
And then palm oil in place of vegetable oil.
Exactly.
And half cooked liver.
Look, you got it, young lady. Spot on. Yeah, you know what? Now, I'd like to have rice and salad and fish.
Okay, sir.
Now, do you know what fish?
Croaker, sir.
Exactly. Indeed, you received thorough coaching. Now, hurry along. And remember, no catfish.
Okay, I know, sir.
You have to snap it. And let me have, fruit salad for dessert.
Okay, sir.
Yeah? Okay. Now, hurry. Run along now.
Okay, sir.
No, babe, no put salt. No put salt.
Waiting.
Nana, I bite you.
Why you can't talk to me like say my ear they pain me?
Hey! Enewine.
What's it with that? What's your sense?
Nana, no curse me for your language, oh. No curse me for your language at all.
Who tell you say I curse you for my language?
Now who tell you say I curse you, sir?
Who tell you say I curse you? One bodam.
May kochi.
Hey,
joku. May lohoma.
Yes, yes.
I be this guy stupid girl. Hey, Odina Belaka well.
I come look your face. You said I come look your face. One bodam.
Kido. I don't try your number, tire.
You talk to me Ghana girl like that.
Where you dey now? Skido, I no get much, oh. But I dey come. I no get much, Okay. I dey come now. Okay.
Hey. My friend, where are you going to?
None of your business, sir.
Is that stupid boy again, Abi? That useless boy?
Hey! No, sir. Skido is not a useless boy to you, oh. He's not a useless boy to you, I'm telling you. Get off my case.
Christy, you know the hear word though. She have warned you about that useless guy. You're a graduate, leave that boy alone, Christy.
Simple, call the kettle black. See someone where they're supposed to call never do well. When they call another person never do well. You useless picky.
Christy, let me talk to you. Christy,
I go to call my girlfriend. Which what they do now? See, no, they follow me. They do that one. What they worry? See, but make I even ask you myself. How that woman take the rich?
I go answer that question. Now see, now only she they sell food for this area. We be say now only her shop. That is everybody the culture.
I no matter now.
See,
what did they even vex me for that matter pass?
Her food don't even sweet past anybody
else. And yet you say she no be rich.
Your own self, This is what they vet me for. On top of the food where you want buy, on top of your own money, she go there insult you. Thank you.
Sure.
Come on. No, nobody touch this game.
Romeo, they go.
Why could I not touch this game?
Romeo, they go. Go see Juliet, so now go soon drown. Romeo, they go.
Babe, I don't tell you, say make you know they hang out for here. No, they hang out for here now. I've warned you. I said if you want us to meet, just call me on phone and let's arrange where to meet.
Babe, see, all this thing we talk, no be waiting me at the ask. How far now? Why you no want perform now? What's it
Ido. Anyway, see, I don't get much. You know I tell you, say I don't get much. But take this. I'll give it your life later.
Babe, what be this one now?
They show appreciation. I just talk say I go give you the rest when I close.
But I don't tell you now, sir. I need this money now. I want to get this well. I don't tell you now.
Tonight. Tonight when I close. Tonight,
Abi. And you mean I'm no go. No one.
Skido! Smile now. Smile. Why you the type is like percentage of alligator pepper?
I come, let me give you one kiss.
Christy, you know the greet?
Tell you.
You know the greet?
Manasseh, no they look for my wahala. No they look for my wahala at all. I be una think say I know you the nonsense when una dey talk say my auntie wish for food.
Christy, see, who be your mate for here? Who they talk nonsense?
Who be who mate? Me and you.
It's okay.
Me.
Babe, no they tell me that guy thing, no. No they tell me say make I calm down, no. Who go think say go dey follow them? They spoil my auntie business.
Me? I don't know not talk anything.
I talk so. Christy, I talk so. What do you feel? I talk so.
Now, leave this girl. I don't know if this girl a troublemaker. Leave this girl alone. Troublemaker.
I'm for sure na the real trouble today. Yes, I be troublemaker.
See, Robert, I don't like this kind of one.
Wait, but Robert, you don't go the follow woman they shout like that. You know, some people don't gather for now.
I'm not make them gather. Me, I don't send anybody. Make them gather. Me, I don't send anybody.
I don't send you. I don't send you. I send you. I don't send you. I don't send Mana. I don't send any of you. Men, you cannot be woman. You don't gather here.
Let me your gossip. What is this? Is it your gossip?
This girl, no.
You don't want your people.
You saw this one. I don't like this one. What do they want you now?
Look at that.
No, let that get control. Don't control me like this. Why would they let that get just talk to men like this? So you don't come here again. I don't like this thing. Let nobody use my money play with me. What do they do now? See, I don't like this kind of one that they do. I'm on my bank account with that too.
The Aerial Assurance Challenge.
Oh, thank you. But what assurance can you give our daughter?
Everything. With the new look Aerial, I can even do the laundry.
Prove it then.
Okay. Let's make this stain even tougher. Now, let's wash the cloth. With your detergent and with new look Aerial. Do you believe me now?
Aerial, now in a new look pack.
No, sir! No, sir! Auntie! Come here! I told that girl, I told her, she even insulted me. And then I said, prepare food for Ogati. She just said they do something else. Food when she don't look for Nana, now they prepare the food. Nana, go bring her, come. Nana! Nana! Yes, ma'am. Now they put Ogati the food. You don't already serve it. This guy, they show me for this town. This guy, they show me for this town. When I start my own, now other people talk to them, but don't start. Don't start. You see, they see the way you see they do me so. No vex. Oh, that. In the business center. And I'm not robot, man. I said, and I'm not. No, that's the talk say that, but you don't have to do it.
Keep quiet. Shut up. Keep quiet. They don't stay outside there, they talk nonsense. If you see what those girls, those boys and Chrissy, they play outside, they talk.
Uncle Jay.
Oh, hello. Okay. You're welcome.
Very good. Yes. Mama. Hey. I been to you. Hey. I'm walking now, see you. Now so you walk out.
All day for you. Sorry, my already. Sorry. Now walk. This back walk may not be small. You hope you're not that bored. God. I got already entertained by my madam. Actually, very long queue to get a lunch there. Until I go to the head of the queue. Only to hear her say she wasn't selling food to me. Yeah, sorry dear. And guess what? She didn't sell. You knew? She's not personal. She doesn't say to me anything. Yes? I don't get it. Yeah. As in, she will not sell to you because you're a woman. Yes. Babe, come. She doesn't sell to you too. Who are they? Evil senators, film stars, women DGs of ministries. She will say, Lord have See. I wonder how all those women who praise our food in town got to know how it tastes. Babe, you claim mommy buy for you now. Oh yeah. Hey. Please let me call someone to get you some. Not on your life. Even if they take this woman food first for me, say, I need the chop. I've been at juju food. Please. I beg, I dey go. Let's talk outside. He never mama you. He never mama me. Not mama you, eh? You go look for who go buy for you.
Hello? Choose! I beg, no vex, eh? No vex. No, now. It's inside my car. And if I don't finish where I did now, I go bring them. I beg. Uncle Chen, what's happening? Uncle Chen. Yeah, yes. Christy. Christy. Who is calling me now? Please stop. Yeah, what is? This is easy to use. What is it you use to prepare my food? Answer me, please. It was Nana that made the food. Oh my God, Nana prepared my food. Iyamotina. Please come. Your girls have poisoned me. What is going on? Calm down. Keep your voice down. What is the matter? You the wrong thing to Christy! Call Nana. Call Nana. Yes, ma'am. What happened? Nothing more. What did you do? I did not get seasoning. Is it not seasoning like this? I did not put anything, man. Oh, my God, I'm dead. What did you do? I did not put anything. It's not seasoning. It was Christy that told me. So you don't big pass. You're gonna sell somebody else make you cook, Abi? What is up? If that old man died, now they go home. No, Auntie, I'm sorry, Auntie. Hey, can you take this thing away? Come on, carry this thing away. Nonsense. Personal scare. Make I drive you now. Let us go. Sorry. Sorry, let us go. Just go. Gently, okay? Sorry, okay, sorry.
When I wake up in the morning, I need something to help me start my
Did you know that 90% of brain growth occurs in the first 5 years of a child's life? DHA is an essential nutrient that supports brain growth and its key functions. Peak 456 grain of milk is specially formulated with DHA for children 4 to 6 years old to help them grow up strong and smart.
Sorry, we are almost there. Open the door. It's alright. Oh God, I forgot. Oh. Sorry, hold it now. Oh God. Don't worry, you go and start the car. Do him. Good. Aha. Oh, what am I doing? Start the car. Shit, start this car. Okay, sorry. Start this car. Oh God. Chidi, start this thing now. Start this thing. Chidi. Hey, God. I have told you. I don't tell you to make you go to this your JJ Koji affair. You will not listen. Somebody go die for this your figo. I beg push. I should push. It's okay. Oh God, sorry. 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 Sorry, okay. Sorry. Very soon now it will be over. Huh? Sorry. Oh yeah. Don't worry, you just push now. Push. I am pushing now. Hey, push harder. I'm pushing. Hey, Ogoche. Remove your leg. Ogoche. Hey. Oh, you start the car. Push. Oh God. All right. Oh, you push right. I'm pushing. Okay, remove your leg. Remove the leg. It will go. I'm pushing now. My friend. Oh God, remove it. Go. Oh, Chidi. Somebody is going to die inside this your car. Oh yeah. Remove. I'm pushing, my friend. You want to kill me? Oh God. All right. Remove it! Remove it! Enter now! Yes now! Okay, jumping! Enter! Okay. If I stop you, no go start again. It's alright. Yeah, go. Hey! Ogocha no die yo! Jesus oh! Chineke! Hospital here I come!
Nature also gives you the economic importance of the trees. We are talking of job and wealth creation.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem frontally through revival of agriculture.
The 30K is going a long way. Actually, I bought an acre of land for 60K like 2012, and presently I have a cassava farm and a yam farm.
Are you an entrepreneur? You have an existing business or a great business idea? Then, Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Empowerment Nigeria is a program for you. where thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs will be empowered with business funding, mentorship, specialized skills training, and equipment. To register for the IEN program, visit www.ayen.ng. Fill in your personal details and business details. Check your mail regularly for your screening date and location. Follow us on all social media platforms for updates. For more information, visit www.ayeonline.org or call 0700 044 4444. IEN 2018, showcasing and empowering Nigerian entrepreneurs.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates.
Hello Nigeria, I am Becky Madujamu. Thanks for joining us. Incidentally, many African Americans are on the line this week. There is something about Nigeria that places us heads above the others. Then too, some of them have traced their bloodline to Nigeria. They visited their village and we will show you where. The young inventors are back to showcase jaw-dropping innovations. When I say young, I mean teenagers. At a period where they easily get distracted, some have given a whole new meaning to the word focus. Meanwhile, a man who pulled off a brave act when he was just a boy got recognized. Will take you back in time so you understand why he's deserving of the award. And if you have been following the news lately, then you are aware of the calls for justice with regards to a victim of rape. It ended tragically, and suspects have been named. Another scoop we beg you to wait up for is a woman who had her first baby at the age of 67. She will be telling us of her long journey to the labor ward, and you will get to meet the baby. In addition to this are other arresting reports which will come after the news by Joy Osiago.
Hello, Becky. It's good to see you, and a very good evening to you out there. Thanks for joining us. The Kaduna state government has relaxed the curfew in Kaduna metropolis and environs. A statement by the senior special assistant to the governor on media and publicity, Samuel Arwang, says residents can move around Sunday till 5 p.m. while on Monday, 29th October, residents are free to move from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Markets and banks are expected to reopen while nighttime curfew remains. Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai says anyone found involved in the recent disturbances in the state will be prosecuted. Mejama Adamu reports.
Despite recurring cases of violent disturbances that led to loss of lives and assets in Kaduna State, there are no reports of prosecution of suspects. Governor Nasir El-Rufai at a forum with the zonal directors of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria and the Nigerian Television Authority said henceforth, nobody will get away with such criminality under his watch. He warned Goringora community in the state capital accused of attacking innocent travelers that a repeat of such will not be tolerated by government. The governor further cautioned the people against patronizing fake news.
We should place more reliance on reliable sources of information like the NTA, FRCN, Kaduna State Media Corporation. All these messages circulating on social media are usually false.
Meanwhile, Governor El-Rufai has paid a condolence visit to the family of late Agon Adramai Wadara Fel Galadima in Kachia, where he vowed to fish out his assassins. In Kaduna, Mejama Adamu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, troops of Army Headquarters garrison on official duty, escorting ammunition from Abuja to Kaduna State, were reported to have been attacked by some members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria sect at Zuba Bridge in the Federal Capital Territory. A statement by the Commander, Army Headquarters Garrison, Major General James Nyam, indicates that the sect members who were supposedly in a procession mounted an illegal roadblock denying motorists free passage. They attacked troops with dangerous items on Saturday, the 27th of October 2018, and attempted to overrun the escorts to cart away their ammunition and missiles the troops were escorting, which led to opening of fire by the troops to extricate themselves. Meanwhile, normalcy has been restored in the general area, and members of the public, especially those plying the Abuja-Zuba road, are requested to go about their normal activities with assurance from the Nigerian Army that no individual or persons will be allowed to disturb public peace. In the meantime, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has provided air support for ground forces to repel Boko Haram terrorists at Gashinga in Borno State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, indicates that the operation was carried out in the early hours of 28th October 2018, following a report from troops under attack at Gashinga. Accordingly, the Nigerian Air Force Intelligence Surveillance and Reconnaissance Platform, accompanied by a pair of Mi-35 helicopter gunships, were detailed to the location, which were able to identify the location of the Boko Haram terrorists in 13 gun trucks. The combined fire force of the Air Task Force and ground troops successfully overpowered and neutralized the terrorists. The Nigerian Air Force, working in synergy with ground forces, says it will continue to sustain the tempo of operations with a view to destroying all remnants of the terrorists on the fringes of Lake Chad and other parts of northern Borno. Following the graduation of 77 regular recruit intake of the Nigerian Army, 3,808 soldiers have been injected to the fighting force. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who was at the headquarters Nigerian Army Depot Zaria, venue of the event, has details.
The operational vehicle was designed and produced by recruits of the Nigerian Army Depot Zaria. The dismantling and assembling of the vehicle is part of activities marking the graduation of the 2018 recruits at the depot. For the past 6 months, these recruits have been subjected to a series of drills in weapon handling, tactical attack, withdrawal, counter-insurgency operation, and vocational training. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, the reviewing officer of the exercise, noted that the robust combat efficiency across the entire corps and formations is yielding positive results, as evident in the resilient fighting spirit exhibited by troops in the Northeast.
I hereby state unequivocally that Depot Nigerian Army has improved on every aspect of realistic, result-oriented and mission command training.
Out of the 3,880 graduates, 188 are females. The Army Chief later inaugurated a hostel donated by the Niger State government, transit accommodation for senior non-commissioned officers, and an automated shooting range.
Security is everyone's responsibility now, especially in the rural areas where you have migration of people from other parts of the country. It is necessary to identify who, where he's coming from, and for what purpose.
The Depot Nigerian Army, established in 1924, is one among the major military pioneer training institutions in Nigeria. From Zaria in Kaduna State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And moving away from security matters, the critical role of the creative industry in the shaping of a better society has again been emphasized by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo as he unveiled 5 books authored by Fumilayo Braithwaite. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
It is the second time Vice President Yemi Osinbajo would be addressing experts in the creative industry in less than a week, emphasizing the need for Nigerians to protect the positive values the people of the country are known for. The 5 books the Vice President unveils here addressed so many questions which have to do with the society's value system and how the values seem to have collapsed over the years.
Because society is guided by those who are able to reflect, those who are able to think, those who are able to sit down, and try and answer the difficult questions for us. I believe that when we read these books, a lot of the questions, at least we'll find resolution for many of the questions that are raised in our lives, especially also in the lives of our children. And hopefully we'll be able to find some of the answers to the questions raised in our political lives as well.
The author Olufumilayo Braithwaite came on the stage as an author some 25 years ago with one of the books, Golden Rules, which enlightens children about taking security measures to ensure that they are protected from harm. Another, which is a past winner of Anna Prize for Literature, is Echoes of Yesteryears. It centers on the theme of ruthlessness, greed, treachery, vengeance, and extreme obsession. She speaks on her inspiration.
It's funny when we go out of the country, when I see a Nigerian, the first thing that comes to my mind is that this is a Nigerian. I won't ask if you're Hausa, if you're Igbo, and if you're Yoruba. That was the way it was 20 years ago, even in Nigeria. So we have to go back to those days of love, to those days of just saying, he's my brother because he's a Nigerian, not because he's a Muslim, not because he's a Christian, not because he is a Yoruba, Igbo. Or let us just let this love flow naturally. Let us stop discriminating. If we don't discriminate, then we'll have a better Nigeria.
Other books include The Path of Faith, which is guidance and counseling book aimed at getting youths more informed as they make career decisions. Polity Crisis and Bond of Destiny are the other two. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And still in the spirit of love and a better society, wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, says she will not relent in her advocacy in enhancing the lives of women, youth and children in Nigeria. This was at a dinner and award presentation to mark the Future Assured 3 years anniversary of humanitarian services. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Advocacy towards securing brighter future for the Nigerian women, youth and children is the cardinal objective of Future Assured program established 3 years ago by the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. Areas in focus comprise the improvement of health, education, economic empowerment and the general well-being of women and children in Nigeria.
3 years ago, a child was born and this child was named Future Assured. And it is through this child that Her Excellency was able to deliver this wide range of interventions.
The Future Assured program giving service to humanity, helping the helpless, voicing out for the voiceless.
Within the 3 years under review, Future Assured program touches thousands of lives of women, youth and children cutting across the length and breadth of Nigeria, especially in free medical treatment, infrastructural development of health facilities, sponsorship of surgical operations, particularly the treatment of indigent patients and many more other health interventions, as well as capacity building of women and youth, and the provision of entrepreneurial skills, among other gestures.
In the last 3 years, some of the key initiatives include the Popular Get Involved, which generated over 200 million worth of goods for the improvement of the nutritional status of malnourished children across the country, especially those that are in Borno in the IDPs. Issues of nutrition have been in development discourse for long. Therefore, we had to contribute to the improvement of nutritional standards among pregnant and lactated mothers. Supplying supplements to over 250,000, well over 100 tons of these supplements were distributed to malnourished children. Boreholes and tube wells were constructed in communities with water problems in the IDP camps.
These humanitarian services, according to the wife of the president, was possible due to the strong collaboration with various stakeholders from within and outside the country, and therefore the celebration of 30 years anniversary of Future Assured is for all.
In order to key into government policy of one health center in every ward, we have commenced the construction of maternity complex, with one launched in Daura and another nearing completion in Yola. We intend to build such complexes in every political zones in Nigeria.
Equally, Future Assured has recognized excellent performances of some individuals for their contribution to particularly the development of women and children, and by extension the larger society, especially in the field of education, health, security, media, and the fight against abuse.
This is teamwork, and it also shows the potentials that abound in this great country.
It is the footstep we are following to serve humanity, to render selfless services. It gives us a sense of belonging, and it also encourages us to do more.
While the Future Assured magazine was unveiled for public consumption, the event was climaxed with the cutting of the 3rd anniversary cake officiated by the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Pauline Talin. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
And now for a bit on INEC and the general elections in 2019. Before the end of the first week of December 2018, all will be set for the smooth conduct of the 2019 general elections. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu gave the assurance in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi reports.
Many were worried on the possibility of INEC meeting up with the preparations for the conduct of the 2019 general elections, when there was a continuous delay for the passage of the INEC budget by the National Assembly. These fears were, however, laid to rest on the 10th of October 2018, when the National Assembly finally approved the budget. This approval was made just about 4 months to the elections, but INEC is optimistic it's still on a good footing.
Yes, we had some discussions with the Ministry of Finance on the disbursement of funds for the elections, and we are confident that we are not going to suffer any encumbrances in that respect. So we have engaged consistent with the provisions of the Public Procurement Act, and we have awarded those contracts that we needed to award for procurement that we needed to make before the elections.
As required by Section 20 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, the voters' register will be displayed at all the polling units nationwide from 6th and 12th of November 2018. What are the expected gains of this exercise?
It is also an opportunity to correct misspellings of personal details such as names, age, and gender.
More than 84 million voters are expected to participate in the 2019 general elections. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Turning now to traders, the federal government, through its social investment program Trader Money, has commenced disbursement of loans to small and medium-scale business owners in Gombe State. Correspondent Fatia Awal Abba completes the report.
The scheme, which registered about 40,000 petty traders operators in Gombe State, is aimed at empowering 2 million small business operators across the 36th state of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, before the end of the year.
I wish these traders will utilize what they have. I'm a living witness because I have a business I started with just 5,000 naira, and as it is today, that business was more than 300,000 naira.
Some of the beneficiaries of the scheme, including the chairman Gombe State Traders Association, expressed delight over the program and pledged to make good use of the loan for the development of their business.
I have to very appreciate them for what they are doing, because it's very, very good for government to give the less privileged the money to start up their business.
I'm here to make inquiry about the payment, but still the queue is too much, so I have to wait now.
Each beneficiary of the scheme would receive a minimum loan of 10,000 naira. In Gombe, I am Fatia Awal Abba, NTA News.
Moving on now to health matters, wife of the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Zainab Atiku Bagudu, has urged Nigerians to constantly check themselves medically, especially for cancer, to ensure early detection. It was during a cancer awareness walk in Abuja to improve cancer care in Nigeria. Free cancer screening, provision of diagnostic and treatment support to indigent cancer patients featured during the work.
Insurance, and we just spoke about how we need to include cancer treatment in the Nigerian health insurance scheme. We are creating platforms which people can get help. We are sensitizing them. We are telling them it's curable when it's detected on time.
The death has occurred of one of Nigeria's elder statesmen and political leader, Chief Anthony Anenih. He died at the private hospital in Abuja this Sunday at the age of 85. Musa Abubakar reports.
Chief Tony Anenih was born in Uromi, the present Edo State, about 85 years ago and came to national limelight when he served the police orderly of the first Governor General of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, in the First Republic. Tony Anenih rose to become a commissioner of police before retiring to be involved in active politics. He was the Bendel State Chairman of the National Party of Nigeria in the Second Republic, National Chairman of the Social Democratic Party in the aborted Third Republic, and the Chairman Board of Trustees of People's Democratic Party in the present dispensation.
We have come to offer you hard work, to offer you freedom, to offer you commitment, and to offer you success.
He was also the Minister of Works under the Obasanjo administration at the advent of the present democratic governance from 1999 to 2003. Chief Anenih, who was called Mr. Fix-It due to his ability to carry along different interests in politics and reconcile differences and grievances within the system, has recently been quiet after retiring from active party politics about 2 years ago. Situation is calm in his Abuja residence when NTA News visited.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari extends heartfelt condolences to the Anenih family on the death of its patriarch. President Buhari also commiserates with the government and people of Edo State and the PDP on the passing of Chief Anenih. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari affirms that across the political spectrum of Nigeria, Chief Anenih was known for his strong views on issues pertaining to the unity and stability of the nation. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it is shocked by the news of the demise of its former Board of Trustees chairman and former Minister of Works and Housing, Chief Tony Anenih, the Iyasele of Isaland, and a statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Olagbodiyan. The PDP is particularly pained that Chief Anenih left the stage at the time the party and the nation needed his wealth of experience the more. The party, which described the late Anenih as a great Nigerian, a torchbearer, brilliant administrator, fine officer, quintessential nationalist, and democratic icon, condoles with the Anenih family, the government and people of Edo State, and pray God to grant the nation the fortitude to bear the loss. And talking sports now, semi-finalists emerge at the ongoing NCC 10